Okay, let's try to unpack this because you think you've got a handle on what AI can do,
Hmm.
and then something like this lands from OpenAI, and it just it makes you rethink things a
Right.
lot.
Yeah, absolutely. This time it's their newly shown O3 model.
Exactly. O3. Now we should be clear up front. What we're looking at here is based on a presentation they gave.
Right, not a formal paper yet. So kind of early days, informed curiosity is probably the right way to put it.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
So our mission, really, for you listening, is to get a decent grip on what's actually new here. What can this O3 do?
And what might it mean, down the road?
Yeah, without getting lost in all the super technical jargon. We know you want the insights sort of distilled.
Okay, so where do we start? The breadth of it is pretty striking, isn't it? It's way beyond just text now.
Oh, totally. I think the biggest leap, for me anyway, is how it seems to actually think with images.
Right, not just labeling things.
No, not just that's a cat. They showed it identifying like the biggest ship in a photo
Hmm.
and then going on to predict where it was probably heading next. You could almost see its visual analysis happening.
That's a pretty big step up in visual understanding, yeah. It suggests it's connecting the visual input to, well, real-world knowledge, different data types merging.
Exactly. What they call data modalities, text and images working together.
Yeah, that ability to connect what it sees with, actual reasoning, that's key.
And then there was that tiny sign thing. Honestly, my first reaction was literally, what sign are they talking about?
Oh, yeah, I know the one.
It was this incredibly small bit of text, like on a building way in the background of a photo. Stuff your eye just completely skips.
But O3 could apparently zoom right in, sort of clarify the image there, and read this nearly invisible text.
It felt,
Yeah.
yeah, almost unbelievable. How does it even do that?
Well, it suggests it's got a much better way to, focus its attention within an image, to pull out tiny details from a bigger picture. That's advanced visual processing.
And it gets wilder. They showed it a picture, just a picture, and asked what movies were filmed at that location.
Okay, now that's complex. That's not just image recognition.
Right. It needs like a whole database of world knowledge behind it, connecting places to films.
And it supposedly did it fast.
2.5 minutes, they said,
Oh.
which is pretty quick for that kind of multi-step reasoning.
Yeah.
It's linking the visual to this huge network of facts.
Yeah, it's retrieving and then applying context. More than just seeing, it's understanding the context behind what it sees.
And, okay, on a lighter note, apparently, yes, it can find Waldo. So that's sorted.
Aha, the important questions answered.
But seriously, think about the practical side. Taking a picture of a menu and it tells you the cuisine type.
Or that guitar example.
Yeah,
Seeing/play and guessing the chord.
yeah. Suggesting it's probably an E chord, apparently, that's a running gag.
Yeah.
Something about him always playing an E.
I vaguely heard something like that. But the point is, it's interpreting actions within the image, too.
And identifying flaws in fabric from a photo. That seems really useful for, like, quality control.
Exactly. Manufacturing, maybe helping visually impaired people navigate. Lots of potential there if these visual skills hold up.
Okay, but it wasn't just about seeing things. The memory aspect seemed beefed up too, significantly.
The recall. It remembers past conversations, past interactions.
Yeah, they showed it being asked, what do you know about me? And it brought up the user's interest in scuba diving and music.
Right, building a profile over time.
And then this was the mind-blowing part for me.
Oh, yeah.
It used that knowledge to teach the user something new but relevant.
The coral larvae example. Yeah, that was neat.
Totally neat. Knowing the user liked scuba and music, it starts talking about these tiny baby corals.
And how they listen for the sounds of healthy reefs to find a home.
Exactly. It even mentioned this experiment where scientists played reef sounds underwater using loudspeakers to attract them.
It's that connection that feels, well, thoughtful, right? It's not just spitting facts. It's linking your interests to new, relevant information. Personalized learning.
That's the word, personalized. And adaptive, too, because it remembers what it taught you.
It can then build on it, like the job interview prep example.
Yeah. Helping someone prep for a research scientist interview, knowing what they already covered and suggesting what to focus on next, that feels like a real step towards proper custom tutoring.
It really does. You can see how this could become a powerful tool for, continuous learning, professional development, that sort of thing, if it works reliably.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. This humanity's last exam. Now, we talked about this, was it 2 deep dives ago?
That's about right, yeah. It's basically a super hard test, questions from scientists designed to stump AI.
Right. And the progress O3 showed here. Honestly, it's pretty dramatic.
What were the numbers again? It was low before, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a few months ago, the best AI was scoring like 8% on this thing.
Uh,
8.
okay.
Now, O3 is apparently hitting nearly 25%.
Wow. Okay, that's roughly a 3x improvement in just months.
Exactly. A threefold increase on a test designed to be incredibly hard. That pace is, well, it's something.
It really is. That kind of jump suggests some serious improvement in its core reasoning, its ability to tackle complex, maybe abstract problems, not just recalling facts.
So it kind of begs the question, doesn't it? If it keeps improving like this, could we actually see it hitting, I don't know, 50%, 60% maybe by the end of the year?
It's plausible based on that trajectory, which leads to the really big implication.
Could AI become like a real scientist?
Yeah.
Could it actually do research?
Well, this is where that other demonstration comes in, the one where they gave it incomplete research.
Oh, right, and asked it to finish the work.
Yeah, and they even showed visualizations of its thought process, images it was focusing on, data points it was analyzing.
Assuming, and it's a big assumption, but assuming they set it up properly so it couldn't just, look up the answer.
Right, assuming no cheating.
Then yeah, that really does hint at a genuine research capability starting to emerge.
Which is kind of profound because AI has mostly been good at finding patterns in existing human knowledge, right? Operating within the known world.
Exactly. Confined to the, what was the phrase? The convex hull of our knowledge.
Right. But this implies it might be able to push beyond that hull, generate genuinely new insights, actually expand what we know.
And I mean, just think about that for a second. If that's true, accelerating new drug discovery,
Designing better crops, finding clean energy solutions.
tackling longevity. I mean, these huge, thorny problems, and AI that can genuinely research could be.
Right.
Well, transformative doesn't seem strong enough.
No, it really doesn't. The potential acceleration in science, if this capability is real and scalable, is just immense.
Okay, and they also showed something called Codex, which
Yeah.
sounded like coding for the rest of it.
No, basically a coding assistant or agent, but framed as being super accessible, not just for hardcore programmers.
They had that example of making ASCII art from a picture just by pointing it in someone else's social media post.
Simple prompt, visual result.
But the really stunning one was creating a working app, like in real time, just from pointing a camera at something.
That does sound impressive. It's about lowering the barrier to entry, letting more people turn ideas into actual software, democratizing coding, essentially.
Which could unleash a whole lot of creativity, you'd think.
Potentially, yeah. Lots of innovation could come from that.
Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to share this tip. They called it the way of the scholar trick. It's not just for O3. Apparently, it works on most chatbots.
Oh, okay. What is it? Sounds useful.
It is. It's super practical. You basically customize the chatbot, give it a specific instruction beforehand.
Like a system prompt.
Exactly. And the prompt is basically this. Look for peer-reviewed sources for every answer. Rate the credibility of that source on a scale of 0 to 10 for every source.
Ah, okay. So you're asking it to ground its answers in actual research and tell you how reliable that research is.
Precisely. You can copy-paste that. Add some emojis if you want, they joked. But the core instruction is key.
That's actually really smart. It forces the AI to be more rigorous and transparent.
Yeah. They showed an example asking about O3's own IQ. And instead of just a number, the chatbot gave answers, but also pointed to where the info came from, like this is speculation, this is based on some test, and gave a credibility score.
So you can judge the answer better, if it's just repeating something someone blogged or if it's referencing a proper study.
Exactly. It gives you much more context and control. And like I said, you can try this on pretty much any chatbot you use. Really empowering for the user, I think.
That's a great practical takeaway. Encourages more critical engagement with these tools, which is definitely needed.
So yeah, wrapping things up, these O3 demos, they really do feel like a significant jump. The visual understanding, the memory for personalized learning.
The potential, however early, for actual research and making tools like Codex more accessible.
It all points towards AI becoming much more capable, much more integrated.
The synergy between the different parts is maybe the most compelling thing. It's not just one trick. It's seeing, remembering, reasoning, creating, all coming together more.
Which inevitably brings us back to that big thought.
Yeah.
If AI really is developing genuine research capabilities, what are the biggest, most urgent problems we face, as humanity?
That this kind of intelligence could actually help solve.
Yeah, worth thinking about, right? So for you listening, what part of all this stood out the most? What are you most curious or maybe even worried to see happen next?